Welcome back, Armchair Generals. This is Gamer 1745 here with my continuing playthrough of Hearts of Iron 4 with Black Ice, and we are playing as France. We're looking at the follies of France, as it were. So before we get into this, I really love to have this series be something of a success. We're looking at how France can possibly defend itself, or even more. But it really can't be a success without you. YouTube doesn't share these things well, so if you can share them, if you think this is worthwhile content, share them on whether it's a Facebook, Twitter, any sort of social media. Even if, say, you decide to go to the Paradox forum somewhere and say, hey, have you seen this cool video series? Post a link there. You doing it is very different than I'm doing it, including their rules about it. So self-promotion versus your promotion. So if you guys can go do some of that stuff, that helps this so much. So I really appreciate any help you guys can give in that area. But we will continue this. Come on. Waiting for something interesting to happen. Nicaragua. Please. Mine warfare has advanced. Very good. We can lay mines better. Yeah, I think maybe something like convoy doctrine improvements. We're not quite as dependent as Britain might be, but still that would be something to make sure. R-35 tanks. Okay. Well, let's come over to Hotchkiss, and they have American Jeep there. Okay. Let's go for the Salma 35. And over here. We can't do radio equipment yet. Paratroopers, I don't think we're going to be doing anything like that. So let's do Combat Engineering Company. Spanish Civil War is breaking out everywhere. Tour de France, 1936 Tour de France took place between the 7th of July and the 2nd of August. Belgium claimed first and third places, while France came second. Oh, wow. Belgium. What is an infantry gun? Okay. An infantry gun is a gun, an artillery piece not controlled by the artillery. I think that might be the easiest definition of it. Yeah, is artillery not controlled by the artillery, and hence its name, is controlled by the infantry. Look back into the 18th century, especially the first half of the 18th century, and I know a little better in England, but many countries, some of the battalions that were formed, some regiments had a single battalion, most had two or more battalions, though they served independently in the British Army. They would have that infantry battalion would have often, not necessarily most of the time, but often have two light artillery pieces. And they would be manned, operated by and owned by that infantry battalion. Where the Royal Artillery was sort of its own branch of service. You had to have much more education, particularly to be an officer, to be able to do math and similar sorts of things to be in the Royal Artillery. And the Royal Artillery controlled most of the artillery pieces. And so an infantry gun is a gun belonging to the infantry, where the proper artillery pieces are belonging to the artillery. Now, when you get into a more modern field army with divisions, in which the division has, an infantry division will have a cavalry unit, will have, could be a company, could be a battalion or regiment, however they're organized, can have artillery. And so the artillery would be in artillery units, and we can see, and part of this is part of it is definition, but part of it is real units. So these artillery regiments here, including the anti-tank, potentially depending on, these would be all the artillery pieces. Now, an infantry gun would be a gun owned by one of these battalions. And so it would be part of the equipment of the battalion and not either part of the support element, artillery out here or out here. And in Germany's case, there were two infantry guns. One was a 75 millimeter L12. The L12 is sort of how long the case is, like we saw earlier with the 37 millimeters. So it's a very short case. The 75 millimeter L24 was the gun that you see in the early Panzer IVs and the early Stugs, the short 75 millimeter. And then you have the L43 and the L48. Those have much longer barrels and then much more of a case behind with much more powder behind it, pushing those, just to sort of give you size comparison. So they had the L12 75 millimeter and a 150 millimeter infantry gun. I forget what the L would have been on that, but it has much less range, the 150 millimeter, and less hitting power than, say, a German 105 millimeter howitzer, because they'd have much more powder behind the projectile and much more explosive filler in that 150 or 105 millimeter projectile. It would be longer. So an infantry gun is really just a gun that is controlled by the infantry. Now, why have I not come over here and here? No, not even here. Here, and that is a picture of the German 75 millimeter L12. I don't know that the French used infantry guns. That is a picture of the 150 millimeter German gun. And so this is something that would be organic to a infantry battalion and not part of the artillery. What is similar, and the U.S. did sort of kind of have some infantry guns too in some of their 75 millimeters howitzers, but what a lot of nations use instead of infantry guns are mortars. So that would be the British solution. I don't think the British had what you would call an infantry gun. They had artillery pieces run by the Royal Artillery. Now they had anti-tank pieces that very well could be integrated into an infantry battalion. But they were using mortars as a infantry-based artillery or indirect fire weapon. So that is the sort of definition. Okay, so we have. Okay, so we got a lot of choices that we can research here with this research facility. Good. Quality control, 80 days. Let's do that. Now, okay. We could do social reforms, gain stability of 3%. That would be gains. Yep, 35 days. That's what we're going to do right now. Or we could do this one. Ooh. Ooh. Oh. Okay. Okay, we don't want to do far right leagues. We don't want to do action française. We're going to go somewhat historical, demand Walloonian. No. Okay, status quo. We could do some social reforms. Where's one of the following? Okay, we don't have to do radicalized front. Support Bloom, Deladier. Okay, 35 days, 35 days. So mutually exclusive. Yeah, we want the stability. So we're going to do that. Because we're losing our stability very quickly here. Okay, well. Yeah, we could use a lot more things. Per day. We just use, well, infantry equipment's catching up, but we can use more of it. So let's go with another one of these here. Okay, social reforms. That gave us a little bit of a boost. Status quo, gain stability, political power. That'll get us mostly out of our deficit there, so let's do that. Let's see, yeah. And, let's do another civil factory. We'll stick it here. Okay, well now it looks like we're going into 37 heavy bomber, light bomber. Let's do light bomber. Italy's looking scary. Yeah, I'm not that worried. It's not at this moment. Okay, Turkey demands. Today, Turkish government announced that it will take action if France doesn't give independence to Pate State. That's this little bit of territory right here. Yeah, I guess so. We don't need more trouble than we currently have. Spanish Republic asks for help. The Spanish Republic is in danger. France is always supported democracy, and well, France hasn't always supported democracy. It's ridiculous. And a nationalist victory would mean 3 fascist neighbors, which would be very dangerous. Well, Italy is our ally. What are you talking about? On the other hand, Germany and Italy may attack us if we support the Republic. The United Kingdom won't defend us. What should we do? For democracy, manpower. We don't want to cause trouble. We're not going to cause trouble. We're not going to do that. We are in deep enough problems as it is. And you're right, Arno, it probably is not a good idea. Okay, status quo. That helped our support Deladier, Bloom, more than 40%. Okay, which grants liberal daily base support. Base stability plus war. Okay, that gets event Leon Bloom resigned, so I don't know if what we could have done to get to 40% stability. I'm not saying there isn't some option, but yeah, I think right now with all these bad things we need to really push. Hello, the Bear Jew, how you doing? Okay, we've got quality control in production. That is nice. Let's see if we can get better construction and resources. Combat engineering, nice. Well, we're getting close to 37 and pushing on some of these. So let's look over here just a little bit first. Yeah, we could yeah, garrison's a little more strong. That would be good for us. Okay, dispersed industry. Base stability minus 5%. I can't afford that. We are a bit behind on uniform production, so let's add a uniform factory. We could just use more horse transport, so let's see if we can do that. Chinese Soviet Republic there declares war on Jibai Sanma. Anti-Comintern Pact. No, we're not going to join that. Okay, mechanical computing, very good. Now let's do... yeah, let's wait. And hey, December 7th we stopped on. How interesting. Okay, Leon Bloom resigns. Okay. Leadership purges in the Soviet or Union of Soviet Socialist Republics and support Daladier. Okay, now we have French intervention. One of the following things: Britain may refuse alliance and use French volunteer forces, national which grants. Go with Britain. Okay. Well, Little Entente. Invite Yugoslavia, Popular Front. Okay, just looking. Disjointed government. I guess if not united, okay. Research treaty, love more slots. Economic cooperation agreement. Okay, well, I think we've done what we can right there. Now, that negative stability just keeping me from going down this. Buy heavy water. I don't think we need to do nuclear. Oh, industry, electronics, that would be nice. But we could see about developing Morocco. I do want the military factories in Algeria. So we're going to develop Morocco. Why Morocco over Tunisia? So this gives one military and 2 civil. This is just 2 civil. We're going to go Morocco because Morocco's over here and Tunisia's over here, and Tunisia's more liable to be invaded by Italy. So it's just purely on that geographical. Right, we're waiting until the beginning of next year to start the next research there. Trotsky expelled. No one wants him. Well, who would? Okay. Charismatic leader arises. Our Navy is the pride of our Navy chief. Unfortunately, it's time he overdid it and turned the important group of merchant vessels. Okay. He has to go. Maybe if we ignore the problem, it will go away. Popularity of dissension. Stand by him. Command power 10 units of transport ships are removed from the national supply. Popularity of dissension. Remove Navy chief. Francis Darland. I think we want to change in popularity of dissension. Popularity of dissension. Where do we see that here? We finally have a little bit of Victor's Great War. Okay, steal some blueprints from the Dutch. Do they have any? Maybe land doctrine. Well, we could see about land research doctrine here. But, guess pop chain, maybe we know it'll go away. Because it's a green thing, so we're gonna go with that. Well, what we're going to do is, I firmly believe that if you're going to research things that improve research speed, you should do them first instead of like doing land doctrine. So we're going to do this first and get more electronic computers to then be able to do like a land doctrine. Steal blueprints from the Dutch. Well, we've not really set up a network to do so. And what blueprints would they have that we want to steal? I don't know. See, I'm an infrastructure first type person, so that would be research infrastructure before going after, the actual end results of your research. I guess we'll do this Hotchkiss, even though it has a Jeep picture. That's just my way of thinking on it. Now, if you don't have, and I wouldn't say our research slots level is great, but if you don't have enough research slots, then it might be better to go with the end result first. So if I was playing, I don't know, something like Romania or some smaller nation, I might just skip all of those and just focus on the end results ones, because you just don't have enough time. And yes, I'm mostly used to playing as Germany, where you have a fair amount of research slots and able to expand stuff. And right now, I'm a little more worried about some of these other conditions here. Colonial investment, economic reforms. Okay. National Office of Agriculture. Gain spirit. Okay. Max factories in the state. Reduces resources to mark. Frank devaluation. Daily political. Research daily opposition's party support. Budget law deficit. Exchange rate stabilization. Remove spirit inflation. Spirit inflation. Bank of France. World economy. We just always gain stability. We just don't have enough stability for them as I see it. And yes, I know pushing, we're continuing down this, and I may even go back to that go go with Britain. Yeah, we'll try to go with Britain. I don't know if that is good timing now or not. Okay. Are we still looking at convoy? Yeah, we can't pursue this yet. Prove destroyer screen tactics. Okay, so we need to pick sub-detection surface. We're going to go with sub-detection. And the all-purpose. Popularity stabilization. It's not until then. Base stability 10%. I like that. So we're going to go here to there. Get that 10% base stability. And we can build more pipping, and I think we will take, well, let's take a look here. What do we have? We have mine layers there. I know France had some mine layering submarines, maybe not at this point, but I guess not now. I know they had them, a few of them. Yeah, let's do this here, and we'll specify this port.
Gardez vos rangs.
Nope, that didn't happen right. I hate when it doesn't.
Écoutez.
Nope, see. We'll click over here. There we go. Provence now. Assassination attempt on Edward Daladier. After an unsuccessful attack on the life of Edward Daladier, there is an emergency meeting of the cabinet. Here now, two opinions come together. One side believes we can draw political capital from the failed assassination attempt. The other thinks the publication of the act would inspire imitators and aggravate the situation. Both are valid positions, and we must decide how to proceed. So we must decide how to proceed, but we have only one choice. Okay, people, let the public know. Yeah, okay. I think that's odd. We no longer get the calm population. Wow. Go in another mine cruiser. Help confront Italians in the Mediterranean. Garrison training, very nice. Some light artillery, and now that we're in 37. Well, we do have a carrier, so yeah. might be able to modify our government. Anything here that we can... No. 150, 150. We need some better leaders. Or some leaders that go with or get better stability applied to them. Okay, well we have now 2 cruisers in production. Minerva. Well, we'll do some small submarines because we're not looking to go too far out to sea with them. Now, we actually have... Let's see, is there something that will get us... Rent a collapse of less than 40%. Gain stability, political. No, not just yet. I want to read this a little bit more here. Consumer goods, factory stability, war production cap. Okay, additional consumer goods, factories. Weekly stability plus 1%. Okay, we are losing a lot, so less than 40% stability at peace, 5%. Weekly stability plus 2%. Just going to hurt our productions, and yep, we're going to do this. Okay, now we're at 21 and we're growing stability. Yay! Okay, Britain and France are now in alliance. Okay. So we now have an alliance with Britain. With Britain before Czechoslovakia happens. Okay, do we want to do that yet? Maybe not yet. We're going to United Research Treaty, we like that, but yeah, now that we have okay, well this would remove the disjointed government. And inflation, disjointed government, political power, stability. Okay, weekly war support. Yeah, that's probably what we need to do. Disjoint, get rid of the Popular Front, United. Yep, that's what we'll do. We're building stability in our government. Oh, allied anger. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Because we gain political power, gain research, guarantee tension limit. Sometimes when it says like plus 0%, it's probably 0.0 something of a percent, not enough yet to like go to 0.3% or 30% there. At least I think that's what's happening. So there is an actual gain, but it is very minor. Okay. Let's see. Land doctrines. Well, we can look here. Okay, we've got World War I figured out. Methodical battle. That we'll get a bonus on that. So we'll start with this. Light artillery barrel, very good. Let's do medium. Gun improvements. The Hindenburg disaster. Morgan Freeman's birth. Well, let's look at what we need. I think transport trucks will be our next. Oh, well, let's improve our bomber. There we go. Yeah, next increase there. Okay, we're going to end this episode here. I want to thank you all for watching. Thanks for liking the videos. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. I'd love to hear more from you. See you next time.